I have a 20 by 16 canvas. You can usually get them in a pack of 3 at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or even Amazon. I believe we do have some on our favorite products on our webpage. And here is some white gesso. You can also get this at those same 3 locations. And this is also on our favorites on our webpage. And I'm just putting it all over my canvas as it's going to be used as a primer. And again, if you're going to use a canvas versus a board, you do want a piece of board underneath, as the canvas is pliable. And now I'm adding some Wise Owl Snow Owl, 1 coat all over the canvas after my primer had dried. And in these both cases, I'm using a Gen foam brush. You can usually find these at any True Value hardware store. I'm now using Wise Owl Black and some salt wash. You can really mix in any container, and it depends on how much you put in is how thick you're going to get it. And this I kind of wanted to be a little bit on the thicker side. Now I'm taking this distressed stencil. It's like a distressed diamond and a tool, and just applying it randomly around my canvas. I'm not worrying about full coverage, as I want to keep that kind of distressed look to it and that randomness to it. So I just placed it here and there throughout my canvas. Now, once I got this around as I wanted it, I allowed it to dry. I do believe I got that stencil at Michael's, and it may have been in a package with a B. I think it was a stencil of 2. I'm going to try to look that up for you. So now I'm applying over the raised stencil that had dried another coat of Snow Owl, but I'm not worrying about full coverage. I do want the black to show through, and I'm using my S30 Klingon brush that you can find on our webpage, chalkitupfancy.com. And now I'm using Wise Owl 1 Hour Enamel Clear. I'm really starting to really enjoy this. You can use the varnish on this step, but I am enjoying this because it does dry in an hour. So there's not a lot of waiting time, and I can move faster with my project if I want to. Now this transfer is called Family Heirloom, and it comes in two long pieces, and I am cutting it off where I'm reading it and it makes sense. And I'm putting that piece aside for another project. And now I'm going to take the protective coat off and make sure that my transfer is even on my canvas. And once you commit, you cannot pull it back up. So now I'm taking my little wooden stick that comes in every transfer, and I am rubbing it. And as you rub, the transfer begins to release from your upper film. You know, there's a protective paper, and then there's a top film paper that releases as the transfer adheres to your project. It just takes some time and patience. It's not difficult. And you just go around and, rub until it fully adheres. Now I have this Wise Owl Heavy Metal. They're new metallics. And this is my first time using it. And I'm using a floral stencil and a dabber. The stencil I've also grabbed at Michael's. I've had the stencil for quite some time, but I do believe they still have it. I do believe seeing it. And this is called Cleopatra Gold. The enamels come in many other colors. It has a silver, a copper, a bronze, and a pearl. And if you've ever used metallics before, they are very thin and translucent, but not this. This was amazing. This was one coverage. Actually, it covered so well that it didn't really fit with my project any longer, and I had to take some sandpaper and sand it back, and it did sand back quite nicely. So, yeah, these were amazing. If anybody really likes metallic colors, you're going to love these. And these two you can find at chalkitupfancy.com. Now, the key with stenciling is making sure that you have very light paint. So once this was dry, I did take a piece of sandpaper and go over my flowers just to give them a little bit of a distressed look. And then once this was dry, I did go back and make sure I got all the sanding dust off. And I'm going in again with some Wise Owl 1 Hour Enamel Clear as a top coat. We really hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see other tutorials, go check us out on YouTube. We also have our video on our webpage. All our tutorials can be found there. For any paint products, brushes, or transfers, chalkitupfancy.com. If you have any questions, please email us. Thank you so much for watching.